Das ist die Mainwelle und das ist Bayreuth.
Das ist Bayreuth. Das ist Bayreuth. Das ist Bayreuth.
Das ist Bayreuth.
Das ist Bayreuth.
Das ist Bayreuth.
Great. Welcome, everybody, to this webinar and that you joined to hear more about the next generation of battery materials as presented in the graduate of the master's degree in battery materials and technology from the University of Bayreuth. Now, the experts on this topic are already connected. We have three professors joining with us as well as a staff member. However, before we go over to them and they will introduce themselves, I will briefly explain to you a little bit what interactive options we have for you, because we like to make this as interactive as possible. Now, first of all, to introduce myself, my name is Luc Mulling. I will moderate this session. And as mentioned, you can interact with us first of all, by asking questions, of course. We'd like to hear from any questions you may have. You can do that through the panel on the right called questions. There you can write them at any time. And we will be answering these at the end, so after the presentation. Now, second of all, there's also a chat. By the way, you can say maybe where you're from, where you're logging in from, because I know we have a very international audience. So you can write there maybe where you're from or even what interests you in this program. But also we will be opening up polling questions, a couple of polls where we like to get to know you a little bit to see what your interest is in this program. So those will open up throughout the session, especially in the end. And last but not least, we have an option of emoticons. Now at the bottom you see there react, and there you can react to us just to make it a little bit more fun as well. Exactly, that's the one. So you can give us a thumbs up or any emotion during the presentation, just to have an even more feel of a live audience and an audience for the presenters as well. So thanks for doing that. Exactly, great. And now, without further ado, we go over to the presenters, and we will start off with Julia, and Julia will present herself and then the rest of the team. Julia Menzel, go ahead.
Thank you. Yeah, hello, my name is Julia Menzel, and I'm the program coordinator, the study coordinator of this program. So I'm your contact for all study-related issues before, during, and afterwards of your study. So hello and welcome.
Okay, go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Matteo Bianchini. I'm a professor of inorganic active materials for electrochemical energy storage here at the University of Bayreuth, and I'm one of the most recent professors. So I've been here for the last year, and I'm really excited to share with you the news we have about this program.
Okay, I'm Ralf Moos. I'm the coordinator of our sister course, which is taught in German. I'm professor for functional materials, and I'm also involved in battery materials and technology from the research point of view. But together with Georg Papastravo, we together let's say designed this master course.
Hello, my name is Georg Papastravo, and I'm professor for physical chemistry, mostly nanoanalytics and interface science, and I'm the coordinator for the new Master of Science program, Battery Material Technology, which I'm going to present you in the next 20 minutes. So, I think if you came here for this program or this webinar, you know already why batteries are important. Let's recapitulate this very shortly. Yeah, then I'm going to present you the structure of the degree program. I will speak a little bit about the requirements, and then we will speak also about the modalities to apply for the program, your career perspectives, and there's also the possibility to apply fellowships. Batteries are omnipresent in our daily life, and practically everything which is consumer electronic has a battery inside. But of course, batteries are much more. Yeah, if you think of electromobility, the power grid, large-scale operation. And in the moment, there's a really global demand for the production of batteries. So there's a massive expansion of production capacity throughout Europe and the rest of the world. So what does that mean? That means we need specialists who are highly qualified for this particular field. And this is not a field with only chemistry or only electrotechnics. Yeah, but there are many, many different subjects which are important to get a full understanding of batteries. And I mean, there are very simple questions. What will be the future materials for more efficient batteries? In the moment, we are in the time of the lithium-ion batteries, but might be more suitable materials, certain applications. How we can make batteries safer. How we can produce them cheaper, or what is about more sustainable batteries. And I mean, these are all questions which are also addressed in this degree program, Battery Materials and Technology. It's an interdisciplinary Master of Science degree program. So for example, Ralf Moos is in the engineering faculty, I'm in the chemistry faculty, so we are covering the whole range. The program I'm presenting today is taught in English. It is intended for graduates from Bachelor of Science degree programs in natural or engineering sciences. We will come to this a little bit more in detail later. And like Ralf mentioned, we have a sister program, Batterietechnik, which is taught in German. We will come also to the Bavarian Center for Battery Technology, or shortly BIBAT, which is one of the reasons why we are so interested also in establishing a master program here. And it is well suited for people who want to go afterwards in industry or to pursue a PhD degree in research. So let's speak shortly about the structure of the program. What you see here is labeled in the very left column 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the first to the fourth semester. So in Germany, we divide study program always in semesters. The semester is half a year. So this means the first and second semester will be your first year, and the third and fourth semester will be your second year of the master degree program. And what I marked here already is something which is called individual alignment modules. So what are these individual alignment modules? The idea is that battery research is such an interdisciplinary field that people from a lot of different backgrounds can and should apply. So that means we want to create a common competence base for all students. This means, for example, if you are a chemist, yeah, most likely you will need some additional competences in the field of mechanical engineering, of electrical engineering. Yeah, it depends from where you are coming with your specialization. You might need also some mathematics. If you are a physicist interested in battery research, most likely mathematics you will have, but on the material science side and organic, inorganic chemistry, you will need some further training. So these 3 alignment modules, yeah, will be assigned from a whole catalog of modules at the moment of your admission, and this is a suggestion which will allow you, yeah, to follow also the courses you see here on the right side. They're going over the first year of the program, and they are termed battery systems technology, battery materials, and electrochemistry. Let's start with electrochemistry. Yeah? A battery is an electrochemical device. So that means you need to have a good understanding of physical electrochemistry and also analytical electrochemistry in order, yeah, to cover this subject in depth. Yeah? And this course, yeah, which is obligatory for all students, yeah, will be creating a common base. There might be some chemists who had already a course on that, but a 1-year course on electrochemistry will go from the Nernst equation up to electrochemical impedance spectroscopy and further chapters. Yeah, of course, yeah, a battery is made up from materials, yeah, which put constraints on it, and this course battery materials 1 and 2, yeah, is just a material and chemistry side of batteries, very to the point for battery research. Battery systems technology, yeah, 1 and 2, takes care of, I mean, a battery is not there for itself. Yeah, it is always connected to a larger system. Yeah, and that means, yeah, you need to have an understanding about a lot of various topics. How to create battery packs, heat management, power grids, and so on and so on. Yeah, so these 6 courses, yeah, they are practically the core of the first year, and they are mandatory modules. So in the second semester, so that means in the second half of your first year, you have the possibility to choose elective modules. These elective modules, yeah, allow you to put your specialization in certain areas you find interesting, yeah, and give you a broad overview on the current research topic. And this is also the possibility for you to put your own accents in your study program. There will be a broad list of elective modules. Some will be specially designed for the master course here. Some are coming from other courses like polymer science, material chemistry and catalysis, and from the so this is for you the possibility to follow your interests. This was the first year. Then we have the second year. We start with a very right seminar. So the seminar is something which we consider is essential for this program because it's an interdisciplinary seminar in cooperation with the sister program Battery Technique. Yeah, current scientific works will be presented by the students, yeah, and placed in an overall scientific context. So independently, if you go into academia afterwards on industry, you will have to give scientific talks and you will have to follow through a scientific discussion. So this is trained here, and it gives at the same time also an exchange platform for all the students from all 3 programs. The research module 1, 2, and the research plan, yeah, make up the large part of the 3rd semester. So the idea behind these research modules is that you make the transition, yeah, from lecture hall and laboratory exercises to doing really research. So you will do independent research with an experienced PhD student. The left side, you see just some pictures I took from my labs recently. And you will make 2 research modules. These research modules, one of them you can do abroad, or you can do in industry. The research plan gives you the toolbox to plan your research in a systematic way. Yeah, so cover the scientific literature in that field, develop a research plan, look at time constraints, and so on. If you have followed this 3rd semester, then there remains as last point the master thesis, which is approximately 6 months. You do it in a research group. By now you will have rotated through various research groups, various fields. You will have an idea what would be the topic you're most interested, which would be the research group where you would prefer to do your master thesis. They have capacities. You can do your research there. You have to write it up in a master thesis, which will be in this course program mostly in English. And you are finished with a degree program. So, if you are still interested, what are the admission requirements? What you have seen is it is a scientific or engineering program which requires a thorough understanding of mathematics, chemistry, and physics. So that means people with a bachelor degree from engineering, physics, chemistry, most likely will have all the requirements. To check if this is really the case is the responsibility of the board of examiners, which will your admission. So Ralf Moos, and he will be, for example, part of this board. And as the language of the degree program is English, we require a level of B2. So if there are some German students following this, this would be an equivalent of the level of English required for the Abitur. So you don't need a further language examination. Otherwise, this is a solid understanding of English, but it is feasible to achieve. There's a further requirement. This is that you should reach the level of German A1, so which is practically, let's say, on the level of ordering a lunch in a restaurant, saying hello, introducing you. You don't have to present this in the moment of admission. You have 1 year of time to do this. We will come to this in a second. What is also important, you can apply before you have completely finished your bachelor's degree, but of course there should be nothing. Let's say, for example, you have handed in your bachelor thesis but have no mark, final mark for this one, or you are missing still 1 exam, and you will take this exam before you arrive in Bayreuth. Normally, this would be possible to meet students with this pre-requirement. So coming back a little bit to this German A1 language certificate. This is something which is demanded. And I think it's also, if you are spending 2 years in a country, it makes sense to at least have some very basic understanding that you are living in. You can do this by a 4-week intensive language course online. So practically before you arrive here, you have to be only admitted to the program already. You can go to the University Language Center, where you can also learn a lot of other interesting languages. You will meet students from other degree programs from many different countries of the world. So it's also fun. It will take 1 semester. Or if you have already a knowledge of German but no formal certificate, you can do a placement test. Everything will be done. As said, you have 1 year time for that, so that should be not really an obstacle in participating in the master program. You can submit your application via the campus online system. there's a brief guide. You can find this in the internet very easily. Please look, the application deadline is 15th of July, so it's more than a month. Still time to apply if you got interested by this webinar for our program. The requested documents are the standard documents, CV, transcript of records, the language certificate for English. It is for us often very helpful to have a grading scale for your bachelor transcript of records, and it helps also if you would send a module handbook of your bachelor program. So, for example, you think, the student took physics, but how deep is the knowledge of physics or chemistry or mathematics? This helps a lot. And there should be a short motivation letter where you explain us why you are interested in studying battery materials and Bayreuth. Career opportunity. Of course, we heard already in the beginning, in the moment, everybody looks for people specialized in this field. What I have here on the left side is from a Spanish institution of Basque Country, Energy Boon, where they just made a map of future giga and present gigafactories in Europe. And if you look at the dates, which is actually a little bit small when these factories will be finished, you see that a lot of them are finished 24, 25, 22. There are some which are also finished, like for example Tesla in Grünheide, which is in Germany. But you see, there are a lot of places where a lot of production facilities are set up now, and we believe that this program is preparing you to do that. Sorry for the German here, but this is, for example, Tagesspiegel. This is a daily newspaper from Berlin. Europe's battery industry needs standards for training. Or Fraunhofer, which is Max Planck Society for Applied Research, future expert needs in the battery sector. And on the right side, you have the Zeit, which is a weekly journal, which shows that one of the bottlenecks in the moment with battery production in Germany is really to find trained co-workers. So that means you can start immediately after finishing the program to work in industry. I'm pretty confident that there will be a lot of jobs out there. Or what is in Germany often for people who are graduating in chemistry with a master program, follow up with a PhD, with a BIBAT and a number of research groups dealing with batteries in the University of Bayreuth. You don't need to change the city. And this is normally the entrance level you need also to find a job in research sector of companies. So, something which we can make, or can go in more detail in the Q&A section. There will be also the possibility for excellent students to apply for individual research fellowships. And this we hope is a possibility for people who are really excellent to prevent it by not sufficiently funding themselves. They will have a chance to participate in this program. Julia can give you there also more details, but it is important, of course, that you can apply for this program only if you applied previously to the. Good. The research fellowship program is in its deadline a little bit after the deadline for the degree program. You saw in the beginning a movie about the city of Bayreuth, but maybe for you it's also interesting to see a little bit more about battery technology in Bayreuth. We have the Bavarian Center for Battery Technology, so-called BIBAT. It was founded in 2018. The picture in the middle shows the director of the BIBAT, Michael Danzer, our former chancellor of the university, and the minister for science of the state of Bavaria at this time. By now, we established already a lot with the BIBAT. On the left side, you see here Ralph and me and 3 other colleagues. We are the board of the BIPAT. And on the right side, you see some PhD students and also our coordinator for the BIPAT and the coordinator degree program with some PhD students from the group from Matteo in new facilities. Yeah, and there are nice facilities, as you see, for example, in the middle. I mean, the BIPAT is founded with the idea that we serve the whole value chain of batteries. So starting from the materials, yeah, going up to the power electronics and the connection to the power grid. Yeah, so we have here really the life cycle of materials, modeling, and so on and so on. So it's also the length scale, yeah, going down from the molecular and atomistic scale up to the energy system or the car. Yeah, so from nanometer to meter. The BIPAT members, in the moment, there are 14 professors, members of BIPAT. Additionally, we are hiring 12 new full professors. Half of them are approximately already on the campus. Matteo is one of the new hires of the University of Bayreuth, where we are really putting emphasis on battery research here on the campus. And we have 2 junior research group leaders from the high-tech agenda in Bavaria. This is the original image was the campus in summer. It looks beautiful. In my opinion, the summer looks also beautiful in winter. Yeah, so just to give you an idea, Bavaria is the red area you see on the map of Germany on the right bottom. Yeah, and the University of Bayreuth is situated in Oberfranken, so this is the northern part of Bavaria, there where the red circle is. Yeah, it's a nice region, very green. Yeah. The university itself is relatively young. Yeah, it's funded in 1975. We have approximately 260 professors in the moment, 13,000 students, so it's a small, medium-sized university by German standards. We have 1,400 PhD students and a large academic and non-academic staff. And what one should say is what is not common in Germany, we are a campus university. You see this picture on the left side, yeah, with all the different facilities. And I give just a short overview. Rankings is also, of course, always important in our times. As a young university, participate in the Times Higher Education Young University ranking with a 58th place. The CIA ranking, German ranking, which is concentrating also on the conditions where the students are studying. There we are often in the top rankings in natural sciences, and yeah, it's an international university also, which
Okay, I believe we currently don't have sound from the presenter. So we will check back in as we're just getting to the last slides actually, and make sure that George is coming back. Otherwise, we will come back in a minute and already start with some questions, since I know this is yeah, we're getting towards the last slides anyway. So we have a panel of previous professors with us, so that's great. Let's jump to the questions and yeah, come back if there's other information for the last parts. Just to make sure. First of all, thanks again for joining. As you can see, we have already some good interactions and questions from different parts of the world. So thanks to see you all joining in. Let's jump into the questions. Givido, if I say that right, asks, "Are the study really? Yeah, is the study really for free?" Is the question, and I assume one of the professors or Julia can answer that.
So I might be answering this. Yes, there are no tuition fees, but in Germany, students of all higher education institutions pay a semester contribution, about 100 euro, but that's all. There are no further tuition fees.
Great. Well, we're getting nice emoticons of positive reactions, so I assume the audience likes that. Very good to hear. Mokinor, if I said it right, is asking, is it possible to apply with a degree in geosciences, so a bachelor?
Maybe I can take this one.
Sure.
So I really don't see why not. And that's something I want to share with the audience, is that, for example, my background is in physics engineering. So it's something that one might say, well, maybe it's not that directly related to batteries, but batteries are really very, very interdisciplinary field. So whether you come from something related to chemistry or physics or even geosciences, I mean, you certainly have learned about materials, about crystallography, about other methods that are central to battery materials. So there's no reason why you shouldn't apply. And of course, we will evaluate the background of each applicant. But batteries are really a great topic for people of a different background, from engineering, from various other possible backgrounds. So I think this is a recurring question. I've seen it in some other people asking something like that. So I really don't think applicants should be worried about their background not being chemistry or electronics or something like that.
Maybe let me add a few points, Matteo, which is exactly correct what you said, and that's the idea of this master course. So and that's why we do have these individual alignment modules, because we know battery is a highly complex and it's an interdisciplinary topic. So that means each of you has another background. But in order to bring that together, we have these individual alignment modules. That means not everybody has to take the same courses at the beginning. The chemist doesn't need chemistry anymore, but probably electrotechnical engineering, and so on and so on. And so I'm rather sure that people from natural science, from engineering, from chemistry, physics, and so on, geoscience, do not have a problem to get accepted for the master course, for the battery materials and technology master course. Probably there is one or two individual modules more that have to be taken, but anyway, it's possible. And in addition to that, the study is free. That's what somebody asked us before. Of course, you have to your living expenses you have to pay for. So that means renting an apartment or eating, drinking beer or whatever. So that's on your own expense. But studying just is about 100 euros per semester, which includes also a ticket for the public transport. But geoscience, yes, and many, let's say, engineering and natural science related bachelor degrees can be accepted for the battery materials and technology course.
Maybe just to add, if you want to know whether you're eligible before your application or not, you just can hand in some transcript records for me via email, and I'm going to check this. So, thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you very much for that addition and for all of your answers. I hope that clarifies. And we will continue with a question. Well, I had a question from Givio asking if the session was recorded. I just want to, I can answer that. It is indeed being recorded. So if you joined late or you want to watch it again or share it even, that is possible. So you can actually watch the session right after this session. So it even restarts within a minute or so. So if you stay on, if you missed the beginning, then you can catch up and watch it. question from Anandayavaran. Will we get a scholarship for the program to manage tuition and living expenses? So I think the tuition is probably answered, but just to verify, Julia.
Yes, just to verify and to answer briefly, because Georg Papastario is back again. Excellent students have the possibility to apply for the scholarship in the individual research fellowship. So you can cover living expenses and also the costs for getting a visa to Germany.
Okay.
Maybe, if I may, we could add that even if one does not get a scholarship, Bayreuth is not a city with a very high cost of living. So it's a city of a good size for students, and it has very reasonable living costs. And so even if one were not to get a scholarship, I think it is still manageable since the program is basically free.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. What I'd like to do is, since George is back, maybe let us finish the last slide where we just got left off. But just to make sure, maybe it's answering questions that people already have written, but we were left at this last slide here.
I hope you can hear me now. I'm sitting here in my office in the university, so I don't know why the connection broke down. What I just wanted to show you are here some buildings of the engineering faculty, which holds also one of the key labs of Bayreuth, which is a large glove box facility for production of battery cells. And that you can see, it's a nice green campus with a lot of interesting equipment for research. I mean, I think one can say. And it was really the last slide where my connection broke down. The ending was just see you in Bayreuth next semester. So sorry.
Okay, I assumed that we were getting right to the end. So, well, that's good. We didn't miss much from that part. Although, thank you for sharing that, and also, seeing the facilities. That's great. All right, let's continue with the questions. We have a question from Sariva regarding the language certificates. Is it acceptable for English? Which language certificates are acceptable for English? And is the DAD onset exam result satisfactory? And also, what if the bachelor course was in English already?
I think, Julia, that would be probably the...
So maybe to start with the language requirements, yes, every certificate is applicable. So you should just apply, and then afterwards we're going to see whether we have to check something. And what was the second question?
Sure. So the second part was if the DAD onset exam result is satisfactory, I guess.
Yes, the DAD.
Yes.
DAD. Deutsche Akademische
DAD. Okay.
Yes, that is satisfactory.
That's the, sorry, yes. Deutsche Akademische Austauschdienst, if I remember correctly.
Right.
And the other part of the question, and that's maybe for other people who have a bachelor course in English, do they still need to show proof of English?
No, if you've already studied a master in English, that's sufficient.
Okay. Great, thank you. All right, Ashwin is asking, one of the previous slides mentions VPD. Does this refer to the uni assist method of application preliminary verification for non-EU students?
Yes, that's correct. So if you're a non-EU citizen, you have to apply via AniAssist VPD. That's Vorprüfungsdokumentation in German. Pretty hard word. But every citizen within the EU have to apply at the Campus Online platform. I guess Georg Papastario told about before.
Okay, thank you. Next part actually of the question also is from Ashwin. Is the application completely online?
So I'm going to answer again. Yes, application is completely online. And we're having two steps of application, just the formal one via Campus Online or VPD. only assist, and the second part there will be like an assessment center, but this is also online.
Okay. So what I will do actually is I'll share the link to the website. I'll do that right now, and I will. I know there's the application platform as well. I will get that link and share it with you just in a little bit as well. Just for you to watch the anything the program about the program requirements. You can see that in the link now on your screen. So if you click on that, it opens up, and then you at your own pace you can still look things up after the session. So that that way you don't miss out on anything. All right, let's go on to the next question from Anandu. He's from a mechanical background, and he's asking, "Can I apply?" Yeah, I think that's the question.
Yeah.
I think it's
I
already
think
been
we
answered.
we covered that about the different backgrounds, right? Also, the next question on IT and production engineering. I think as long as the in science is bachelor and carried out somehow well with interest, with good grades, there is nothing which is off the table. Of course, we will have to evaluate it and see which elective modules at the beginning need to be taken. But yeah, as I said, nothing is impossible in that sense.
Perfect.
I think this should be. I mean, the alignment modules are exactly for that. So if you're a mechanical engineer, most likely you have a good background in physics, mathematics, and you will have also here certain courses in electrical engineering, maybe. Now, this depends on your program you followed. But of course, the idea of the alignment modules is now to bring you up to speed on chemistry and material science. Now, this is why we introduced that, to give as much students from different backgrounds the possibility to enter this fascinating field.
Okay, great. Thank you. So I take the questions with the backgrounds have been answered. Just to let you know, if you are still in doubt, there will be contact details later on, so you can still get in touch. And also the staff of the university, in this case directly Julia, has access to your questions. So you can always still get in touch with you as well if the question was missed or anything, and provide you that information.
Excuse me, just I want to encourage the crowd that if there are any questions about the application procedure or the onboarding procedure, just come and I'll let you know.
Perfect. Thank you. That is good to hear. So let's see, next question. So those were answered. So Ashok is asking, I'm currently working and living in Munich. Can I also study the master program part-time?
Yes and no. And the problem is this is a degree program which is made for presence, so you can't study this online. This is number one. Number two, of course, it is required that you are attending laboratory exercises, seminars, research modules, and so on. So if this is compatible with your work, I can't say from this distance, but our general idea is that the people are here for 2 years, and we will try to do our best that they can finish also the degree program in 2 years. So this might be a very special case, which you can inquire a little bit more, but it is not standard, and it is not in the idea of the degree program.
And for the lectures, maybe it's more feasible, but for the master thesis, especially the 6 months of research, that'd be.
And there, just to answer directly, there's no half-time option yet.
Yeah.
By now, we are just full-time.
But anyway, it may be possible in that sense that if you have an agreement with your company, you may study during the semester, and during the semester break you can work probably half time. So that may work, and if you need 5 semesters, okay. but it's not the let's say the main way. Let's say probably a good idea for some persons, but it's not intended for as a standard. But it may work. We have that in other courses also. But then you have to have good agreement with your company, so that they allow you to study and to be in Bayreuth.
Okay. I hope that answered the question for those who were wondering about that. And yeah, otherwise let us know if anything is still unclear. Shihil is asking, are there any internship opportunities in the area of batteries?
What kind of internship in the university, in companies? What is meant with internship here? And that
Shihil
sense.
maybe can let us know, so that can be then asked in more answered in more detail. Thank you for that.
Maybe I mean, what I can say is in the framework of the research modules, it is possible to do one research module in industry, but this is not counted as an internship. You're supposed to do their research, but you can do it in an industrial environment. We have this in other degree programs on the master level in Bayreuth. We have very good experience with that. But you have also the possibility to go for one research module abroad and do research in a different country. And when it comes to students in the third and fourth semester, there's a little bit more flexibility also possible. But there is no required internship. And the degree program will also not place people directly for internships somewhere. So this will be, in most cases, agreements you do with a professor who works in the program, and then you work from this point on forward.
Okay.
I hope this helps.
I hope so too. Otherwise, let us know. We still have some minutes left, although we still have some more questions, but hopefully we can answer all to satisfaction. Just quickly to mention to all the audience, we've opened up various polling questions. I see already many of you have answered, so that is great. Thank you for that. So we just opened one of the last questions as well, just to see a bit on where you are in terms of your application process. Just to highlight, you can actually select it. It shows white. That is a bit confusing maybe, but you can actually select it and submit it. So it does work. Also, for the people that are watching the recording, you can all participate. So just to highlight that, I know a lot of people these days watch the recording. You can write questions. You can still do that. They will be sent through to the staff of University of Bayreuth. And also, you can participate in the polling. So by all means, to take advantage of all these options, and that would be great to hear from you as well. Question from Sarifa: will applicants be interviewed as a final stage of the admission procedure?
Maybe I answer this. We have the possibility to do this, and we will make also use of this possibility. We do this normally via internet, but we admit also people directly. We make interviews, so this is both possible.
Okay, thank you. Question from Bulat: can I apply with an Australian IELTS result?
Yes, you definitely can apply.
Great, short but clear answer, I think. Otherwise, let us know, Bulat. Sarifa is asking, is there a fee for application?
No, there isn't a fee for application, as well as there's no fee for tuition. Just to stress at this point.
Exactly. Thank you. And that gives me the opportunity, though, to send the link to you to apply. So you see the link to the actual, I think it's the German system, if I'm not mistaken, for applying. So the Studierendenkanzlei, if I say that right. So that's the application platform where you can find more information, and that's if I understand correctly, Julia, you can directly apply there. Is that correct?
Yes, you can directly apply there. Otherwise, you are a non-EU citizen, you have to apply via UniAssist.
Okay. Do you happen to have a link from that, or is
It's the same link, just different directions.
okay? Just to make sure.
You have to choose whether you come from, where you're coming from. So,
Okay, good. So then that is clear as well, I hope. Just to come back to the question from the internship, Shihil is adding concerns an industrial internship. So just to highlight that, if there's anything to add to that. Otherwise, I guess it's clear. Okay. At this stage, I don't see any further questions. So I think we have
Maybe there is
answered.
one about how much time the selection process take.
Yes, you're right. That's yeah. Go ahead. Do you know this one, or should we go over to Julia?
I think maybe Julia knows exactly, but the application are due in July, right?
yes, the application deadline is mid of July, 15th of July. So if you have to have a VPD beforehand, please apply now at UniAssist, because it takes some weeks till this works out.
But Philip,
The
maybe
selection-
one point to add. I mean, we do our best to be very fast, and as soon as we have enough interest, we will check whether you can apply or whether you be eligible. No, whether you can be accepted for the course, which is most likely the case, and then you get a positive message from us. So we won't wait until October or so. Probably the sooner you apply, the better it will be.
Since most of you have some issues with visa, so we are concerned by that.
Okay. Thank you very much. I hope that takes care of that part for all of you. Otherwise, yeah, we have minutes still left. So if there's any question, then let us know. This is your opportunity for especially live audience, of course. We're answering your questions. Again, for the people watching recording, do by all means still write your questions. So you can still do that, and they will be sent through to the staff of University of Bayreuth. Meanwhile, yeah, thank you also for the polling answers. If you haven't answered yet, please let us know. It is appreciated that you let us know a bit of your feedback before I put the last question on to the polling. And just to make sure there was something in the chat, if there was anything I missed. I think it was more about the backgrounds, so that should have been answered. I think we have dealt with all the questions. So then slowly we will start rounding off this session. And well, from my side, I'd like to already thank everyone for having joined. First of all, the audience. I saw a lot of different countries joining in from Brazil, Philippines, India, Pakistan, Russia, Azerbaijan, just to name some, Poland as well. So thanks all for having joined this session. And yeah, we hope it was useful to you. And that brings me to the last question that I'll put on the screen. And in the meantime, that will be put right here. There we go, nicely blocking myself. But with that, I would like to still thank everyone, but also the presenters, of course. Thank you, Julia, and also George and Ralph and Matteo, if I may ask, address you by your first names. Thanks a lot for having been here, for your time and your dedication. Yeah, maybe a last words over to one of you. Well, maybe George, since you presented the large part, to just round off the session for the audience.
Yeah, I mean, I think we hope to see you next semester in Bayreuth if you found this program interesting. Yeah, and in any case, it was a great pleasure to interact with you. And of course, from your questions, we are learning also a lot about what to do better in the future for presenting this degree program, from which we think that it's a very unique one in the moment. And I take the occasion to thank everybody, especially also Julia, for managing all the administrative parts of the process, and webinars for you also for hosting this event.
Maybe one last point from my side. Also, thank you very, very much to Julia. She helped us a lot, and you see, she's very nice and helps you with questions. And there's one remaining question. Somebody asks, he or she has 12 years of experience in battery pack assembly line and has a master in physics, but is concerned about the 12-year gap of education. Is that a problem? No, of course not. If you have your master in physics, it's not a problem. If you have a bachelor in I don't know what, it's not a problem. So an education gap is never a problem in Germany. So yes, is the answer.
Great, thank you very much. Indeed, that just came in the last minute. So thanks everyone, and yeah, for all of you, hope to see some of you in Bayreuth then next year, and I hope you enjoyed the session, and stay in touch. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks for joining.